Hello everyone, I'm, I'm Richard going of Back to Live podcast version. This time I'd like to talk about, the number of the patients of coronavirus has dropped, but, I'm afraid of, or people are afraid of, the sudden surge of the number of the patients. Coronavirus exists all over the world still now, as and there was a surge of the number of patients of coronaviruses in European countries, which is which is the information I got in this country, and there also there there is also a surge of the number of the patients of coronavirus in South Korea, and according to the internet news, I got the information in which there was a surge of the number of the patients in Singapore, and but you know the countries or the situations around my country is such kind of thing, but the country the country I live in is really quiet, or the disease was pacified, which is what the situation looks like, and I mean, I live in Japan, and the number of the patients has significantly dropped. And according to the TV news, or the news of news, according to the news broadcast in televisions, the number of the patients has been the number of the patients the numbers of the patients have been have been inhibited, or successfully lowered because of our efforts to pacify, or our thanks to the efforts of us to lower the number of the patients, and reduce the proliferation, or the reduce or fighting against the pandemic of coronaviruses, and but also and at at the same time, we are afraid of the next surge of the numbers of the patients of coronavirus, which is the same case to, I think, other people in other countries, in which there are some countries other than our country who could succeed in pacifying the situation, or or subduing, or succeeded in lowering the numbers of the patients of coronavirus, and maybe people are still afraid of the next surge of the patients, even though those people live in such successful countries. So what is horrible about this virus is that it's really hard to expect the it's really hard to estimate, or you know expect the next surge of the number of the patients. Also, thanks to the vaccinations, or thanks to the mass vaccinations, you know it was possible to reduce the severity, or reduce the harshness, or the severity of the symptoms. But people still catch the viruses. I mean, people still catch the coronaviruses, even though they are fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated means they are vaccinated twice. I'm vaccinated. I got I got the vaccines twice, so I'm fully vaccinated for now, and I'm recording this episode um on the later half of November in 2021, in which in this time, the the season is close to winter. So the win we are next to the situation the season is next to winter. So I mean, so autumn is the correct answer, but it's really cold outside. And in this environment, or in this situation, the numbers of the patients has been successfully lowered. So, but we are afraid of the next surge. And if you live in the if you live in a country where people or the government could successfully reduce or lower the number of the patients, or the government could successfully pacified or subsided or subdued the number of the patients or the coronavirus itself, you know, you should still be careful of the next surge or prepare things for the next surge of the number of the patients of coronavirus. I think after the end of the coronavirus pandemic, I think you should be careful of the next pandemic of viruses other than coronaviruses. So I think pandemic comes frequently even after the coronaviruses, which is what I expect. That's it. This is all the stuff I'd like to tell you in this episode. So thank you very much for listening. See you.